Hey, Lynn, it's so nice to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you? This first day of spring here.
Beautiful. I'm doing just fine. And like I mentioned earlier, thank you so very much for being here. You see, I truly appreciate it. And you see, Lynn, oftentimes I love to thank my guests for two main things, all right? And I do this so often to the point where it has even become my anthem. So, firstly, Lynn, I want to say thank you for investing in yourself. You see, you are on this platform right now because you invested in yourself. And oftentimes, Lane, I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. Say some months back, I was on a particular road, and just by the roadside, there was this tall, unattractive mango tree. And I use the word unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and the leaves were all dry. So I just walked past it and I went my way. But you see, Lynn, just recently I was on that same road, and this time around, a lot's changed about the mango tree. You see, the mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance, and immediately I got the urge to move so close to it, of which I did, and it wowed me because now the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it, beautiful green leaves and healthy branches. Oh boy, it looks so beautiful. It was a special moment for me that day. And I was so excited, staring at the beauty of the fruit and the leaves and the branches. Here is my point. The fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing Lynn that you are today, that alone has made it really impossible for me to say no to you. And you see, getting to read a little bit about you, the stuff that you're doing, the impact your work is having, your philosophies, your insight, it's amazing. And I just want to say thank you so very much for investing in yourself. And thank you so very much too for being here. I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Beautiful.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So let's get started. See, Elaine, I'm quite excited to have you on the show today for some reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking. I believe in order for one to transition from a terrible situation to that of a beautiful one, I believe it takes the application of knowledge, quality information, not just knowledge now, but the application of it. And you see, Elaine, ever since I discovered that light in the Hebrew means knowledge, in darkness means ignorance. I've been so keen to knowledge seeking because I do not want to stay in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very important to me and even to the listeners. The second reason why I'm excited to have the amazing Lynn on the show is for the sake of the audience now. You see, Lynn, we live in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got lots of information flying out there. So these folks trust me for quality, eye-opening, and very important information, of which I'm totally convinced that our conversation is going to be insightful and impactful. So for that reason, Lynn, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or professional journey. Right now, we are so curious. We want to know how Lynn got here. Then afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Lynn, over to you.
Yeah, so thank you. This is a great platform that you have here, and I am grateful for you and for doing this. My journey to where I am today started a while ago. My mother was dying of cancer, and I had just ended a significant relationship, and I was feeling lost and heartbroken. And I went to a concert a friend of mine was singing at, and I noticed that the place she was singing had a bookstore. It sold books, and a lot of the books in the bookstore are books that I had read. And I figured any place with that sells the books I've read is a great place to be. And it happened to be a church, Unity Church. And I started taking classes, I started teaching classes, and I really loved it. When that light bulb went off and people started, including me, started seeing things differently and doing things differently. And I received my first coaching certification through a program at the church, and I still loved it. So I went out looking for more secular coaching certifications, and all of my certifications and all of my degrees have some level of brain science to them. I love the fact that you can change your brain. You can change the neurons and how they connect in your brain by changing your thoughts. And it really is the most important thing that you can do is just pay attention to your thoughts. Are they supporting me? Are they not supporting me? If they're not supporting me, see how you can change them and then take action from being that new person.
It's amazing. And I just learned something new. You can change the neurons in your brain by changing how you think. I got that. And I love the fact that you are dedicated to reading. That's a beautiful one. And okay, it's getting interesting. So let's pick the first question from here. All right. What inspired you to study psychology? Can you talk to us about that?
I think it was ever since I was little. In the Myers-Briggs sense, I am more of an introvert, which means that I have to be alone to regenerate. So I would find myself sitting, some people will call it a wallflower. I just call it regenerating. I would find myself sitting there and I was just fascinated watching people, watching how they acted, how they interacted. And I just loved watching how people were. And that really allowed me to get into the study of psychology, of how people act, how they think, how they do everything. Because it is really about psychology, is about your brain too, about your mind and how you see things.
Exactly, exactly. And that's a great one. So this one also, a very important one. How can one design one's life in harmony with one's soul's purpose? You get it?
Yeah, definitely. The most important thing that you can ask yourself is, what would I love? If you look at David Hawkins created this, what he calls map of consciousness. Some people call it levels of consciousness. I call it levels of vibration. So the vibration of love is way up there in the scale. So when you are looking at what you would love to create in your life, you get at that higher vibration. You are able to see things differently and do things differently. And that's really where you connect to your soul and your soul's purpose. And it's so much easier to design your life, design your vision, and create the life you and business you love living by staying in that vibration of love way up here. And it's just, it makes everything easier, and you create something at a different level.
That's so true. And you see, while I was learning about you, I discovered that you also studied computer science. Can you talk to us how you transitioned from psychology to computer science?
Yeah, it is an interesting story. After I got my degree in psychology, uh, for somebody with a bachelor's in psychology, there aren't really a lot of jobs out there. I did happen to have a job in research at a local hospital. So I did a research project. And while I was there, they paid for you half of their tuition to go to take classes. So I took classes that I always wanted to and didn't have time. One of them was math, and the other was computer science. And I just loved being able to program a computer to do what you want it to do. And that also relates to the brain. My master's project is in artificial intelligence, which is allowing computers to think like humans. So, again, everything that I do has a little bit of brain science to it.
Brilliant, got that. Okay, so how do you stay on the cutting edge of, learning opportunities?
Oh, I am constantly reading new books. I am constantly connecting with new people. And things just show up sometimes. It's not, it's almost like magic, but you start thinking about things and then once you are focused on something, everything like it moves into your vision, moves into your focus. So you see things that you wouldn't have seen before. My biggest one is reading books, watching podcasts, just getting out there and finding people who have some information that I find intriguing and I want to learn more about. And that's one of the reasons that your podcast is so important to everybody and to the world, because you bring out all of that great information and you provide it for people. And if they find you, that is exactly what they're looking for. So you're providing this podcast is helping everybody learn and grow also.
Thank you. That's so kind of you. Thank you so very much. And you see, that's one of the great traits of a true leader. Just like what you're doing, learning from folks, gaining knowledge and implementing them. And now I understand why you're just so good at what you do. It's amazing, you see. Okay, but you see, I've still got some questions here. All right? Are you still with me?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm ready.
Yeah. So let us talk about what a Q coach is and how does it help people.
Yeah, Q stands for quantum, and that is getting into that quantum field. And the Q coaching, the quantum living coaching that I do, is threefold. It's looking at the different parts of where what we consider um, an enemy. An enemy is something you think is against you. So there's three parts to the quantum living process: seeing other people or things outside of yourself that's against you, seeing something inside of yourself that's against you. And then the third piece is your story. So by recognizing and tapping into what you see is against you and reframing that to ways that you can see it is for you, it really creates that transformation and allows you to live life at a whole different level. So you have a life and a business that you love instead of having parts of your life or parts of your business that are a challenge.
Amazing. I never knew that. Now I've learned something new. Thank you for sharing that, Lynn. Okay, walking in and out of the corporate world, I believe there must have been some lessons that you've learned. I'm just so curious right now. Can you share some with us?
Yeah. So being in the corporate world, you pretty much have to um, live by the rules of the corporation. So it's important when you're in a corporate world to be working for a company that has the same values as you. And then you can learn and you can grow within that corporation. That then sometimes, and that's what happened to me, sometimes you outgrow the corporation and then you want to go out and do it on your own and learn to grow and expand beyond the bounds of that corporation that you're working for. And when you work for yourself, when you have your own company, it's limitless what you want to learn and what you can do and how you move forward. So, really, the corporate world has its place and it has a very good place in the world. And once you get to the place where you feel as though it's kind of confining you, it's good to step out and expand into your own business. So that's what I did. I went from the corporate to my own business.
Beautiful, beautiful. And thank you for sharing that because it would also serve as an inspiration to some folks who are already feeling that confinement and now they don't have the courage or the motivation or the inspiration needed to step out and do their own. I got that. So how has your role at Unity Buffalo influenced your journey?
Oh, it has really helped me. That's what the quantum living coach, and I did that started out through Unity. But just the people and the things that I learned, it allowed me to expand my awareness into areas that I hadn't thought about before. And it's just a supportive community. And sometimes you just need that community of like-minded people, that tribe, so to speak, where you can go and you can be yourself and learn and grow with others in the process. It's always fun to learn and grow with other people who think like you do.
Exactly, that's so true. And you see, getting to listen to you speak, I love your leadership style. But how would you describe your leadership style?
Yeah, I kind of call myself, I like to lead from the sidelines. What I like to do is empower people to step into leadership themselves. I think one of the biggest roles of a leader is to develop leadership in others. So my attitude is to allow them to step into leadership and to guide people from the sidelines. You want them to step forward and create their own leadership style, their own way of doing and being things, and then you're just there to help them. You can hold a hand out and pull them forward, or when they make a faux pas or do something that doesn't quite work, you can be there to guide them through that, so that they know there is something on the other side of whatever they've done, and everything on the other side is always wonderful.
Exactly. And I love the part you said, helping them do things their own way, like being their own self. You're not trying to make them be like someone else, but being their authentic self. I got that. And that's a beautiful one. So to bring this to an end, Lane, you've shared some very, very vital and invaluable informations with us, and I tell you, I truly appreciate it. So, what would you like to leave the audience with, like a final thought? And to those folks who felt like Lane just spoke to me and I would love to reach out, how can that be possible?
Yeah, so just pay attention to your thoughts. When your thoughts are constrictive, see how you can change them so that they're more expansive. And if you want to learn more, you can go to lyntranchell.com. Or if you want to, I have a gift, a guide to help you shift your thought habits. And you can go to giftfromlynn.com to get that for free. But it's really just paying attention to what's going on, because your thoughts create your reality. If you don't like your results, just look at see what thoughts you can change to change your life for the better. And that changes, it creates a ripple effect in the world, because when you create a better life for yourself, it allows other people to create a better life for themselves, and it just keeps going on and on and on, and everybody knows that they can do the same for themselves. So you can be a leader by being yourself and allowing others to be themselves.
Beautiful. Your thoughts create your reality. Lane 2025. Got that. Awesome. So that's gonna be the end of the show, Lynn. Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing these beautiful stories with us. I tell you, it means a whole lot and I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.